everyone, coming to you from Athens, Greece. We are on the rooftop here overlooking the neighborhood of Vinyasa, and today we will be focusing on channeling our inner goddess and god. Here in Athens, Danny and I have been learning a lot about Greek mythology, especially the goddess Athena. Athena is the goddess of wisdom, good counsel, war, and defense. She's often also known as the goddess of craftsmanship. So creativity, as well as strength, wisdom, are some of the qualities that we will tap into today. Also, in the aspect of channeling our inner goddess, requires us to have a level of introspection and self-care that I invite you all to tap into today. The god of Asclepius is the god of healing and medicine. And the symbol of the god Asclepius is the rod of Asclepius with one snake spiraling down. And that is also the sign of modern medicine. The snake symbolizes healing and transformation as snakes shed their old layer to form a new layer. So we're also going to be tapping into the idea of embracing our inner goddess, inner god as something that is healing and necessary and also part of our own self-care. So we're going to get started sitting on our mats in any comfortable position. You can start kneeling if that feels better for your knees, or in a comfortable seated position, cross-legged position. I invite you to soften your gaze or close your eyes, and you can place your hands on your knees or interlacing your hands on top of each other. Take a moment to connect to your breath. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, and just start to notice how your breath feels today. Are your breaths shorter? Are they longer? What does the temperature feel like as you breathe into your nose and breathe out through your mouth? I invite you to notice how your body feels today. Just scanning your body from your toes up to the crown of your head. What parts of your body would you like to give some extra attention and healing today? And now we'll focus on the heart space, noticing what emotions are present for you today. And without having to change them, just notice and observe. Sometimes we can find wisdom in just letting ourselves be and letting our emotions just speak for themselves. And now we'll focus on the mind space. Has your mind felt like it's been running so fast, so many thoughts flying through, or has it felt more like a still lake or soft waves in the ocean? And just notice without having to change anything. Just taking an inventory or a baseline of where you're at today. And accepting wherever you are at today, allow yourself to set a personal intention for your practice. Maybe consider how you want to bring the qualities of Athena into your practice. If you want to allow creativity to be present, or wisdom or strength. Or maybe the god of Asclepius can be a quality that you want to tap into today, with the idea of healing and transformation, knowing that we're all on a journey of transformation and that wherever you're at today is okay. And we'll take one more breath on our own time. We'll slowly blink open the eyes, bring our palms together, and start to bring some heat into our palms. And we'll place them onto our chest. You can close your eyes again here if you'd like, or watch me. We're going to introduce the Ujjayi breath. So we're going to breathe in through our nose. And keeping our mouth closed, we're going to imagine that we're fogging up a window that's in front of us. So we'll start with the mouth open, and eventually we'll do it with the mouth closed. So it'll look like this. We'll breathe in through our nose, and blowing, fogging up the window. Do that 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. Fog the window. 1 more time. Inhale through the nose. Fog the window. Now we'll do the same breath, but this time we'll fog the window with our mouth closed. There's no wrong way to do this, so I invite you to tap into that creativity and just allow yourself to explore. So we'll inhale through the nose. Keeping the mouth closed, we'll fog the window. Inhale through the nose. Fog the window, mouth closed. Last time, inhale. Fog the window, mouth closed. Releasing our hands. Inhale, lift the arms out and up to touch. Exhale, bring them to heart center. Inhale, bring the arms out and up. And we'll intertwine them kind of like a snake. And we'll reach over to the right a little bit, reach over to the left, wiggling side to side. And now we'll release our hands onto our elbows, and we'll see how this feels side to side. Interlacing the hands behind the head, we'll inhale, look up to the sky. Exhale, curve the spine. Inhale, look up to the sky. Exhale, curve the spine. Inhale, look up to the sky. And curve the spine. Lift our hands up to the sky, interlacing them, and we'll bring opposite hand to opposite knee. Twist as far behind yourself as you can. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, opposite hand to opposite knee. Look behind yourself, twisting the spine like a snake on a rod. Inhale, up to the sky. Hands come to heart center. Placing the hands on the knees, we'll take some rib circles here. However small or big you need to today. 3 times in one direction, and then reverse. 3 circles in the other direction. Coming to stillness, we'll come to the top of our mat into all fours position. Making sure that our wrists are underneath our shoulders and that our knees are underneath our hips. Let's sit back actually and place our 2 fists together, and we'll place them in between our knees. This is the distance that we want our knees to be. So come back into all fours position, wrists underneath our shoulders. We'll inhale, look up to the sky. Exhale, curve the spine. Inhale, up to the sky. Exhale, curve the spine. Last time, inhale up to the sky. Exhale, curve the spine. Inhale, come into neutral spine. We'll lift one hand out to the side and up. And we'll curl that arm underneath our elbow, pulsing down, and then we'll pulse back up. Pulse down, and pulse back up. Last time, pulse down, and pulse up. Return the hand underneath your shoulder. Other hand goes out to the side, twist up, and we'll curl the hand underneath for a pulse down, and pulse back up to the sky. Curve the wrist underneath and come back up. Last time, curl the hand underneath and come back up, placing the hand back down. We'll step back into plank position, rocking forward and back, feeling all 5 fingers into the mat. And we'll try to tap into our Ujjayi breath, the fogging of the mirror breath here. So inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. And push back into downward dog, lifting the hips up and back, reaching the heels towards the ground, lengthening your spine as your hips go up and back, making sure that the eyes of your elbows are facing towards each other and your neck falls right in between your arms. On your next inhale, roll the spine into plank and push back into downward dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, come to plank, and we'll lower into our bellies. Come into Sphinx pose, placing our elbows right underneath our shoulders. We'll take some head circles to the right here, circling the chin down to the side, up to the other side, and down. Repeat 2 more times, 3 circles to one direction. However slow or fast you need to. Stopping in the center and then reverse 3 circles the other direction. On your last circle, release your chest, place your hands underneath your shoulders, lifting your chest up into upward dog. Coming into all 4s, tuck the toes, push back into downward dog. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky and lower it. Lift your left leg up to the sky and lower. Inhale, right leg up to the sky and lower. This time, left leg up to the sky and lower. Now we're going to make some circles with our leg. So lifting our right leg up, it reaches out to the side and down. And now we'll reverse that circle. Right leg goes out and back and down. And now we'll do it on the left side. So the left leg goes up to the side and down. And reverse, it goes to the side, back, and down. Lifting our right leg up to the sky, we'll bend our knee, and we'll take the same circles we just did, but with a bent knee. So our knee goes down to the side and back, and reverse, the knee goes back to the side and down. Place your foot back down into downward dog. Lifting the left leg up to the sky, bend the knee. We'll circle the knee forward to the side, back and down, and back to the side, forward and down. Release that foot back into downward dog. Come back into plank position. Lower into chaturanga or to your bellies for an upward dog. And downward dog. Walking our hands back into our feet, bending our legs. We'll take our two fists, we'll place them in between our hands. We'll sit the hips back and we'll come into chair pose. Making sure that our knees are behind our toes and our hips are sitting down, our chest reaches forward. Connecting to our Ujjayi breath, breathing in through the nose. Follow the mirror. Into the nose. Fog the mirror. In through the nose. Fog the mirror. And come to standing. Release the arms out. Placing the hands on the elbows, we'll take some circles with our elbows coming towards each other 3 times. And reverse those circles 3 times. Coming to the back of your mat, looking down at your feet to measure that they're 2 fist width distance apart. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold, releasing the spine. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release the spine. Bend the knees, sitting back into chair pose. Arms come forward and up. Open your arms out to the side, and we'll wrap the right arm on top into a bear hug. We'll release the hands. See if the wrists can touch each other. You can stay here, or maybe you cross the wrists, coming into eagle arms, or for today, imagining that this is the rod of Asclepius, with the rod and the snakes entwining around each other. We'll lift the shoulders up, down, and back, trying to get our fingers right in between our eyes, sitting the hips down and back. And while we're here, we'll take some back circles, some spine circles to the side, down to the other side and up. And we'll repeat that circle to this side. One last circle in this direction. We'll stop at the center and we'll reverse those circles to the other direction. Keeping our knees bent in chair pose while we explore the flexibility of our back. And we'll stop in chair pose here. Sitting the hips down far as you can. Release the hands, bring them down and up. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk your hands out to plank position. Lower to your bellies or chaturanga for upward dog. And we'll meet in downward dog. Take 3 breaths here. Breathing in through your nose. Fog the mirror. Ujjayi breath. 2 more breaths on your own time. After your last breath, we'll walk our hands back to our feet, sitting the hips back, reaching the arms out and up into chair pose. Open the hands out to the side, place the other arm on top for a bear hug. You can stay here, maybe you release the hands, letting your wrists touch. If you'd like to go further, maybe you cross your wrists, intertwining them like the rod of Asclepius. Sitting the hips down as we bring the shoulders up, down, and back, lengthening the spine. Trying to get the fingers right in between our eyes. And we'll take some circles in this direction. So our spine goes to one side, down, to the other side, and up. 2 more circles in this direction. And once we've done 3 circles, we'll stop in the center and circle to the other direction. Feeling the strength of your feet grounding into your mat, feeling the heat build in your legs while you allow your spine to be limber. And once you finish your last circle, stop in the center, sit the hips down as far as you can, release the hands, they go down, out and up. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk the hands out to plank. Lower to chaturanga or upward dog. And we'll meet in downward dog. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky and bring it between your hands. Rock forward and back in our first lunge of the day. Step back into downward dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Bring it between your hands. Rock forward and back, exploring the weight between your front foot and your back foot, making sure that our knee is behind our toes in a 90-degree angle. Step back into downward dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up and bring it to the outside of the right hand for a wide-legged lunge, rocking forward and back. Step back into downward dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, place it to the outside of your left leg, rocking forward and back. Step back into downward dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Place it between your hands in a lunge. Place your hands on your knee, and we'll come up to standing, rotating our feet to be parallel in a wide-legged stance. We'll bend our knees here. We'll bring our heels in, toes pointing out to the corners of our mat, coming into goddess pose. We'll sit the knees, the hips down a little bit, placing our hands on the inside of our knees, and we'll take some shoulder twists. So our right shoulder comes down to the center for a twist. Come to center, left shoulder comes forward for a twist. Come to center, right arm for a twist. Left arm or left shoulder for a twist. Center last time, right shoulder comes forward. Center and our left shoulder comes forward and center. Straightening the legs, we'll inhale. Arms come to center, exhale. We'll sit down into goddess pose. We'll rock from side to side here, finding our balance on the heels and the toes of our feet, and we'll settle into a stable goddess position here. So making sure that our knees are behind our toes and our toes are pointed out to the sides of our mat, we'll bring our hands to heart center here, finding our goddess pose. Breathing in and breathing out with our Ujjayi breath. On our next inhale, we'll open up the arms and we'll take a bear hug here. Right arm on top. You can stay here or release the hands, the wrists touch. They can stay here, or maybe the wrists cross, coming into our rod of Asclepius arms. Shoulders go up, down, and back. Maybe sit a little bit lower in this position. And we'll take some circles here in goddess pose. 3 circles in one direction. However big or small you need to today. And 3 circles in the other direction. And it's okay if you lose your balance here, just come right back in. You can bring your toes even further in. They don't have to be in a ballerina pose here. Stability is the most important thing. So once you've done your 3 circles, we'll release the arms, straighten the legs, inhale. And we'll exhale, forward fold, bringing your toes in. And actually we'll pigeon toe our toes so they're actually facing towards each other. And wherever you're at, fingertips or palms on your mat on the floor, we'll inhale, we'll look up, and we'll exhale, release the neck, release the head, wherever you're at today. Inhale, straighten the arms, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Last time, inhale, lengthen the spine, lift up. And exhale, release. And we'll stay here for 2 more breaths. Feel free to bend and straighten your knees if they need a break. Bringing our heels in, toes out 2 times, we'll come into a yogi squat. So hooking our elbows in between our knees and our hands come together, we'll try to lift our chest up as our heart comes to our sternum, lifting up. Connecting with that Ujjayi breath to bring heat and warmth to your lungs and to your inner muscles. Take 1 more breath here. Release the hands on the ground, straighten the legs, turn the heels back. Bending your knees first, we'll place our hands on our hips, elbows up, and the nose will come down, forward, and up to standing. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, bring them to heart center. Bend the legs, turn the toes out to the corners of your mat, coming into goddess pose. Rocking from side to side here, finding a stable position. Open the arms out to the side and we'll place the other arm on top. You can stay here or maybe release the hands, wrists touch. Maybe your wrists cross. Shoulders go up, down, and back. See if maybe you can get your fingers right in between your eyes. And here we'll take 3 circles in one direction in goddess pose. Remembering your breath, exploring if you inhale at the bottom of the circle or at the top of the circle, and reverse 3 times in the other direction. Come to center, release the hands, arms go down and up. And come to heart center. We'll bring the toes in towards each other. Open the arms out. Place them on our hips this time with our elbows reaching back. We'll reach the chest and the nose forward. Releasing the neck and the head, placing the hands on the ground in front of you. See if maybe you can place your hands in line with your feet. Relaxing the neck, relaxing the head. You can have a slight bend in your knees here if you're a hyperextended person or if it just feels good. Take 2 more breaths here. Bending your legs, walking your hands in front of you, we'll bring our heels in to come into a yogi squat, hooking our elbows on the insides of our knees and our hands come to heart center, lifting up through the chest, seeing if you can get your shoulders down. Breathing in and Ujjayi breath out. 2 more breaths here. On your next inhale, straighten the legs, arms come down and up, and they come to heart center. We'll walk the toes to the top of our mat. Toes together, heels together. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Place the hands on the ground. Step back into plank. Lower to chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky and we'll come into pigeon pose. So placing your right heel behind your left hand. I like to allow for your heel to be however close to your pelvis as you need to. That feels good for your knee and for your hips. And come down to whatever level feels good for your pigeon today. This is a healing posture, a restorative posture to open up the hips after building heat in them. It's normal if some emotions can come up in this posture. The hips are a focal point for deep emotions. If that's the case, allow yourself to release into the stretch, to release into the emotions without judgment. You can stay here for a few more breaths. If you'd like a deeper posture, you can come up to your fingers, placing your right hand in front of your knee and pointing your toes to lift your knee up. You can reach your left arm back to grab your ankle to come into a quad stretch. Letting your pelvis push forward to get a quad stretch here. You can stay here or maybe come into mermaid position, reaching your front arm up and back to hook behind you, coming into mermaid. Wherever you're at, allow your body, your heart, your mind to be where it is, coming more into the restorative, healing part of our practice. Take one more breath wherever you are. Release the posture, place both hands in front of you, step back into downward dog. Come forward into plank, lower to chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. Take 3 breaths here in downward dog, noticing how your hamstrings feel, how your calves feel at this point in the practice, if anything has changed or transformed. And if not, that's okay too. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky and come into pigeon pose on the other side. Settling in to your pigeon wherever you are today, try to inhale for a lengthen before you exhale into your restorative pigeon pose for today. With every breath, maybe the inhale is the lengthening, exhaling is the release, letting go. Inhale is the endurance and the strength. Exhale is the healing and the release. You can stay here in pigeon pose, or if you're looking for a deeper stretch, come up to your fingertips, placing your left hand in front of your left knee, bending your back heel towards your glutes, reaching your right arm around to grab your ankle, pushing your pelvis forward for a quad stretch. You can stay here or go back into pigeon, or if you'd like a deeper stretch, come into mermaid pose, hooking your toe into the nook of your elbow, reaching your front arm up and back to connect with your fingertips. Breathing into this restorative posture wherever you are at. Take one more breath wherever you are. We'll release the posture, place our hands on the mat in front of us, stepping back into downward dog. Come forward into plank, chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. And we'll lower the knees. We'll come into child's pose. You can keep the arms stretched in front of you. Or maybe you bend the elbows, connecting the hands for a stretch of your underarms. Allowing your hips to fall on top of your heels. If this is not possible for you just yet, you can take 2 fists on top of each other and rest your head here. I'd rather you be here than here. So trying to reach your hips down towards your heels, stretching your arms in front of you. Now placing the hands by your hips. We'll stay here for 3 more breaths. Take one more breath here. And on your next inhale, we'll interlace the hands behind our back, reaching the wrists up behind us as much as we can. You can stay here, or if you'd like a deeper spine stretch, you can push up onto your forehead and try to curve the spine, rolling on top of the crown of your head, curving the spine for a counter stretch. Wherever you are, release the hands. Place your hands on your knees and slowly roll the vertebrae up, little by little. We'll walk the hands in front of us and we'll lower to our bellies. Opening the arms into an airplane, we'll bend one heel into our glutes and we'll reach the foot up and over for a twist. Experiment if bringing your heel closer to your glutes feels better or further away. This is a spinal twist. Take one more breath here. And if this pose does not feel good to you, listen to your body and you can come into child's pose or laying on your back, listening to the wisdom of your own body. Return both of your hips to the ground, releasing the leg out. Arms come back into airplane. Bend the other heel into your glutes and we'll lift that foot up and over for a twist in the other direction. Experimenting how close you want your foot into your glutes, and you can press into the hand that you're looking at for an additional shoulder spine twist. Or you can also come to child's pose or laying on your back. Take one more breath here. Release the stretch, returning both hip bones to the ground, releasing your leg to the ground. We'll come up, placing our hands underneath our shoulders for one last upward dog and push into child's pose. Staying in child's pose, we'll place our hands on our lower back And we'll start to tap our hands onto our lower back, bringing some healing to this part of our backs that we work today. You can keep doing this, or I invite you to form fists, and you can even put some more pressure on your lower back here. And now feel free to massage your lower back in this position, maybe with your thumbs or your fingers. And we'll release the hands, placing them on our knees. We'll slowly come up to seated position, sitting back on the sit bones, stretching our legs in front of us. We'll bring one knee into our chest and we'll open it, and we will do some self-massage on the balls of our feet. So taking our thumbs and pressing them on the balls of our feet, just noticing how it feels. If touching your feet is not your thing, I invite you to try this on your calves or on another part of your body that needs particular attention today. It can be your arms, your neck, your quads. If you are on your feet, lower to the arches of your feet, putting some pressure on the arches. This is a lot of where our adrenaline and cortisol and stress hormones can be stored, so putting pressure can help release it a little bit. And maybe squeeze your heels, just noticing how it feels to apply pressure to different parts of your feet. Placing the ball of your foot back on the ground, we'll go to some calf massages, starting at your Achilles, up to your calf, applying some pressure of circles or of tension, and then releasing tension, listening to the wisdom of your body. And we'll straighten that leg, and we'll bring the other leg in, opening up the leg, and we'll take a foot massage on this side, or a calf massage, neck massage, arm massage, wherever your body is needing some tending to. If you are working on your feet, work up to the arches of your foot, applying some pressure on your inner arches on both sides of your feet. And explore the heels of your feet, applying pressure there. We'll place the foot on the ground and we'll transition to our Achilles and our lower calf, working up to our calf. We'll release the leg, placing the hands behind us for support. We'll take some ankle circles in one direction 3 times, and the other direction. We'll wiggle the knees, shake the knees, scooting forward to the top of our mat. We'll lower down to our bellies, vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing the knees into the chest, giving them a big hug. Opening your arms to the side, let both knees fall to the left and look in the opposite direction. You can stay here, or if you'd like a deeper stretch for your outer hips, you can straighten the top leg. Maybe your toes turn in to touch the ground. Take 2 more breaths here. If your leg is straight, bend it, bringing both feet, knees together, using your core to pull your knees back to the center and letting them fall in the other direction, with your head looking in the opposite direction as your knees. You can stay here, or if you'd like an additional stretch for your outer hip, you can straighten your top leg, rotate your toes inwards towards the ground for an additional stretch. Take 2 more breaths here. Release the stretch. Bring both knees back into your chest. Give them one more hug. And we'll come into happy baby. Grabbing the outsides of your ankles, trying to pull your knees towards the ground. Rocking side to side, massaging your lower back. If there are any postures that you need to do to complete your practice today, now is the time. Otherwise, we'll settle into Shavasana, final resting pose. Relaxing our legs straight in front of you, arms down by your sides, palms up if you are in a place of wanting to receive wisdom, palms down if you're needing some grounding and stability. Your choice. And with every inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth, allow yourself to let go, and let go. Embracing our inner God, our inner goddess requires us to live life to the fullest and to work towards our hopes, our dreams, our goals. It also requires us to take the time to take care of ourselves, to find time for rest, for healing, and processing of life's experiences. Allow yourself to take all the time that you need in Shavasana. If you have more time for this resting pose, please take it. If your day is calling to you, I invite you to start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, maybe circle your ankles, circle your wrists. Stretch your arms up and behind you like you're yawning and waking up in the morning. And we'll bring our knees in. We'll slowly rock up to a seated position where we started our practice, either in cross-legged or on our knees. Softening our gaze or closing our eyes. Placing our hands on our knees where we started or in our lap. Connecting with our breath, noticing anything that's changed or transformed. Noticing our heart space, anything that is different. Noticing our mind space. Taking a moment to notice the sounds around you, the sensations that you might feel on your skin, anything that you can smell or that you can taste. And take one more moment to connect with your intention for your practice today. And allow yourself to connect with a dose of gratitude for practicing today, connecting with your inner goddess and your inner god of Athena and Asclepius. And I invite you to see if you can bring that intention into the rest of your day in any way that you feel like you need, or if not, that's okay too. We'll take one more final breath together, inhaling, reaching our arms out and up to meet in the center. Exhaling, bringing the arms into heart center. Thank you all for practicing with me today. The light in me honors and sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you all for practicing with me today. Sending love from Athens, Greece, from Danny and I. Thank you, and until next time.